Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Section 305, the sports show. I'm Raul Pagan with my colleagues, Anthony Aguirre and Nick Dupont. Tua, turn the ball over.
You already know it, baby.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna get me an Atlanta one for next season. So this is just the
You're
beginning.
wearing an Atlanta Falcons
Listen,
next
man,
season.
listen,
The same. All right, I'm gonna let you finish.
everyone in the comments and our viewers are gonna hate on me for this, and I already know I'm gonna get a lot of hate as it is for telling people that Atlanta's gonna be my second team for next year. I've already ridden too deep with this guy. I'm just gonna keep going, man. At this point, that's just how I feel.
Anthony.
Out of all the teams, our boy Nick could choose. He has to land with Atlanta.
Anthony,
ATL.
Anthony,
What's
ATL.
up, man?
ATL. I like it. I like the city. But that's the same team that lost that big lead against the Patriots. The same team in that division.
It's just
in
for
the
one
Super
season.
Bowl.
It's just for one season. It's my secondary team out of the way. I'm still riding with the Dolphins, so I'm picking teams that have no expectations.
Out of all, you picked Atlanta and Tua. Also, it's
Well,
like
I can't
can
pick
that
the
city
Giants
be
'cause
more
you guys are
miserable?
bandwagoning them.
Can that city be more miserable?
I mean, I don't.
Hey,
Maybe
all I'm
maybe
gonna
just a little
say-
bit. They have the Hawks.
All I'm gonna say is, as a Charlotte enthusiast, the Panthers are up. The Panthers are up.
And the Hornets just made history.
Yeah, we
Hornets made
balling.
history.
I'm telling you.
Hornets made history. And Khan is about to possibly, basically, stable.
Oh, we're
the
pushing for that rookie
MVP
of the year. We're pushing for it.
That rookie of the year. I was gonna say, sorry, MVP, rookie of the year, because he's literally close to breaking the all-time record for the Hornets in a single season, as not as a rookie, in general, in 3 points. In 3 points.
Hey Nick, this guy's putting white boys on the map. I'm telling you, man.
I'll take it, bro. I'll take it. First we had white corners coming back. Now we're having Cade Cunningham making the Larry Bird case. I mean, come on, man. I can.
Whoa!
I mean, come on.
Whoa!
We're going for Larry.
Oh my
God! We're going for the Larry.
He kind of looks like him. He kind of looks like
a jump
him.
shot.
No.
He has a similar jump shot.
Nick, you were the last person that I said I believed in him. I believe in him in any situation. You just literally, as a rookie, compare him to Larry Legend.
Listen.
Soldado caído. Soldier has fallen.
Listen. When you're talking about a guy who's putting up numbers as similar to LeBron James right now, especially better shooting splits, and he's shooting at the top of his game right now, I'm not even trolling. This is just straight facts that I'm spitting out right now. Cade Cunningham is looking incredible.
Cade Cunningham is a shooter. LeBron's a scorer. There's a difference. Look at Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag is averaging stats. Cooper Flag is averaging the same numbers as LeBron or better in his rookie year. There's a difference.
Cade Cunningham's playing better basketball than Cooper Flag right now,
and winning basketball.
All right, so before we go to our first topic, this is as sad as Florida teams losing in the second round of March Madness, the Gators. That clutch shot, that was really tough for me and for Gainesville. UK didn't have those expectations. Jay Lucas, much credit to him.
How to do it? I low-key thought we could have pulled it off.
Well, it was tough, Anthony. It was really tough, but
Can I just
say they got themselves a good coach. Good
Can I
ass
just say,
coach.
as someone who's covered the Canes basketball for a majority of the year,
Of course.
I will say that first half they showed competitiveness.
They were up.
That second half, they really let things melt down. But great overall season, man. I'm so excited for next season.
Surprising, and they have talent, but not as the best recruit as other nations.
Well, let's allow Jay Lucas to cook, in a bit, because
he's already cooking.
I think it's similar to football. You bring in guys who believe in the vision.
Yeah, of course.
They actually buy in. They actually show on the court. So I think because now the foundation is set, I think this will be more better for high school recruits and transfer portal recruits to actually want to come to Miami.
Same that is happening with Mario Grisoval.
Exactly. I see the similar arc. I really do.
If we can get shooters, I'll be happy.
That's the biggest thing.
That's his biggest thing. Good point, Nick. And then Miami. bad losing streak. We already know what happened yesterday, so
We'll talk about it.
we'll talk about it next week. They do the second. I mean, this Charlotte Hornets dude. This Charlotte Hornets dude, man. This is no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's go.
Hey
Let's
man,
go.
we up.
go.
Lamelo balling, Con balling, man. Brandon Miller balling. Hey, I'm living my best life.
You know who else is balling, Anthony? The Detroit Pistons without Cade Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
So Cade Cunningham will miss at least 2 weeks due to a collapsed left lung. He suffered against the Wizards, and they won. So after what we've seen afterwards, Anthony, I'm gonna give you the first word. Are the Pistons' playoff hopes in jeopardy? If they can resist without him, production.
I'm actually gonna start off saying I think they are. Now, of course, this take could actually go backside all the way. Like it could just fall flat. But my main concern is because Cade is so much to what they do offensively. How will Jalen Duren actually be able to ball out? Because he's not exactly a center that you really rely on to create a shot like Nikola Jokic or a Giannis or even a Bam. Like you think of bigs who can create their own shot. You think of those guys and like.
But he's averaging 19. He's averaging 19 points per game.
Yes, but his game revolves around the rim, obviously, but also how Cade sets him up, especially for lobs. So who's the guy who's going to set him up more better now?
You have Jenkins.
He's decent, but to the level of Cade, that's my main concern. Is just because Cade draws so much attention that it's just a matter of adjustments and of course playmaking and how you're scouted. So I'm wondering, okay, can Duren actually carry this team? Like they're not gonna fall out the 1 seed. I don't believe it's gonna happen. But if Cade is not even at least 80% in the playoffs, can Duren carry you for at least a few possessions where you get critical wins? Because even though the East is not that crazy, but when you look at teams that are peaking right now in that playing tournament, like Charlotte, I'm not saying they're gonna pull off an upset. But that will be a very competitive ass 1-8 series.
Dangerous. It will be dangerous. I actually agree with that. Sorry, Nick, but I actually believe.
So my only concern is really, and this is where I believe my take falls, is can Duren carry you offensively? We haven't seen it. I kind of lean more towards no because I think his game is very limited, even though it's strong. So I think when you lose a guy like Cade, I think you're probably in danger of falling short of expectations.
One question, Anthony, before I give it to Nick. Do you think now the Pistons should regret trading Jaden Ivey?
Oh, yes. I actually thought about this. Yes, 1,000%. Because when you look at the rest of the roster, your best playmakers, you could say, when I say playmakers, I mean more so guys who can create their own. You look at a guy like Tobias Harris, you look at a guy like Karis LeVert, who's shown it before. And again, respectfully, those guys are good, but not to the level of Cade, which makes me kind of more lean towards more. They're in the danger zone right now. So, yeah.
All right, Nick.
Well, I'm going to take a different approach, Anthony, and not talk about Jalen Duren because, he's like the number 2 guy there. I want to talk about their bench. I don't know if their bench is going to be able to hold up without him. I know they're playing better basketball without him at the moment. But for moving forward, I don't know if I can see it being a thing. Because if this happens again in the playoffs where something happens to Cade Cunningham and he goes down, I don't think this is going to be a bench that's going to be sustainable in the playoffs. And at first I thought it could have been. But I was also just so consumed by what Cade Cunningham was doing on the court already for his teammates. I just don't believe in guys like Tobias Harris and Duncan Robinson to step up in those big moments to really make those big plays that they're going to need from them. Even the Thompson brother, one of the Thompson brothers, I don't know if he's going to be able to step up and make those big plays that they expect from him to make, especially since Cade's not there. They just don't have any other really good scoring option outside of Cade Cunningham. So, I mean, for me, I think they're still fine for the playoffs. I just don't know if it's going to hold once they hit the playoffs.
All right, so I'm going to go against both of you. And the reason why, because right now I trust JB Bickerstaff. He's definitely going to be a candidate for Coach of the Year. Since his injury, they're on a 4-game winning streak. They just recently beat the Lakers fully healthy and stopped their winning streak. Like at the end of the day, they're not playing scrubs. They're playing teams that are trying to make it to the playoffs or are trying to be in a better position in their respective conferences. And so I feel like they got enough talent to like resist before he comes back. Like Anthony, it says 2 weeks. 2 weeks
At
not that
least.
bad. At least 2 weeks. It
I thought it
could
was
be
gonna be longer,
3.
honestly.
It could be longer. The thing is, when the team released the PR statement, it
Yeah,
said
of course.
he'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So there's no promise he'll come back like right after 2 weeks.
All right, so after the Wizards, which they won, they beat a Golden State team that doesn't have their star players. I understand that. I'm not gonna give big credits to them for that, but a win is still a win. Then they stopped the hot streak Lakers. They try to contain Luka. Luka is still balling. The important thing is that in the most crucial plays, they executed offense and defensively, and they won by 3. And now tonight they're gonna be playing the New Orleans Pelicans, one of the worst teams in the league. That's definitely gonna be a win. So that's a supposedly 5-game winning streak. Also, Anthony, tonight, Thursday, the Hornets are playing the Knicks on NBA TV. That's going to be very interesting because the Hornets, let's see if they can, just like the Pistons did to the Lakers, stop that 7-game winning streak. The Pistons stopped that 8-game winning streak towards the Lakers. So it's 2 different scenarios that are actually getting our attention for both teams. One that is actually escalating like the Hornets. Nick, it is what it is. The team is actually looking better than the Heat.
Man, come on.
They're actually, even though we still got 2 to 3 weeks, they actually can make it to the playoffs without participating in the play-in. While the Lakers are trying to get into the third maximum second position in the West. What I'm trying to say with this is that the Pistons right now, they are 5 games above the Celtics. And they are 52-19, which is 71 games. They got 11 games to put their you-know-what together without Cade Cunningham. They actually have a good percentage to still have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Now, I understand Nick's and Anthony's point. If he is 80%, not even 90%, that definitely will affect the Pistons in the first round, especially if they confront that what could be a Philadelphia Sixer, an Orlando, or Charlotte Hornets. Because right now, Miami in the 10th seed, they can just lose 1 game and they're out of the playoffs.
Bro, can I ask you real quick? When we look at the rest of the roster without Cade, you obviously last year they made the playoffs, so I'm not really talking about experience per se.
Yeah, of course.
But the guys who have more experience, your veterans, guys who've been in the battles longer, are Duncan and Tobias. And this roster is still relatively young. I'm not really counting Kevin Huerter because, I mean, he's up and down at this point in his career.
I don't count that.
Yeah. Also, Thompson, somebody that can contribute both sides, like his brother.
But when we talk about moments for these guys where obviously things are shaky in the playoffs, where things go sideways, you obviously have to like throw away your game plan. Just, do you trust everyone outside of those 2 vets to, like, I guess you could say, execute in critical moments down the stretch?
All right, so the headline says, are the Pistons' playoff hopes in jeopardy? I see them still finishing the number 1 seed. And if outside of Cade Cunningham against the Heat, yes, I actually can believe, because the Heat, sorry, Nick, but they are in a roller coaster ride, and we've seen the past games with the Hornets. The Hornets actually is a team that can, without Cade Cunningham, eliminate them. Philadelphia, Paul George, if he doesn't come back, I think that they can go neck to neck. And then Orlando, you've even said it, Anthony. Orlando has disappointed. Surprisingly, I cannot believe I'm gonna say this, but if they finish in the first spot and have home court advantage, and they face Charlotte with a non-healthy Cade Cunningham, all right, maybe I'm speaking out of terms, but I can have the Hornets eliminating them in the first round. So with a non-healthy Cade Cunningham, yeah, the scenario changes, but with a healthy Cade Cunningham, if the Pistons give him time to return, not before the season ends, like in the beginning of the postseason, the Pistons should be okay, especially when they are right now a top 10 defense and offensive scoring and points allowed team. Especially they're one of the best defensive teams, which is important. We all know defense wins championships. And like I said, I trust JB Bickerstaff. They've won the past 4 games. I mean, no, the 3 games. My bad. They're on a 4-game winning streak after the Wizards, when he suffered the injury. They've won that game and then the past 2 without him. So Bickerstaff has proven to make adjustments without Cade Cunningham. But most definitely, their playoff hopes are in jeopardy if he's not 100% healthy when it starts.
Nick, you got more to add?
No, I mean, you guys kind of covered everything. I think it's pretty self-explanatory for the Pistons. If you don't have a good bench and they're not performing up to expectation, especially when Cade's out, they're screwed, in my opinion.
And Anthony, like you say, it's a flexible Eastern Conference.
It is flexible.
Yeah, the Cavaliers, the Knicks, the Celtics. Those are second round, third round type of teams if the Pistons meet them. But we're talking about first round. And so if it's a Hornets team, I'll basically, like you said, for the past weeks and months, that's a dangerous team. A little bit more than Orlando and Miami, and let's just say also Philadelphia. We don't know the scenario of Paul George, how he's going to come back, if he's going to come back rusty or not. Joel Embiid, we already know his playoff past history. But, man, this is a really tough question.
I mean, I would say it like this. I'm not necessarily thinking that it's going to be an easy out for Detroit. I'm not saying that.
But they got the expectations to go far.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Gotcha.
That comes with being a 1 seed. That comes with having one of the best improvements in all of NBA. But my whole thing is, okay, let's say it is Charlotte and Detroit. Obviously, Charlotte has been on a heater since 2026 started. And so, if your superstar is not even at least 80%, that's what I'm giving it, at least 80%, then I think the Hornets can actually push that series to a competitive 6 or 7 games. Because that they have a lot of great young talent, and granted, they are very inexperienced in their own right.
Yeah.
But again, when you look at the rest of the roster, especially outside of Tobias and Duncan, I'm a little shaky on the consistency of the rest of the production, the rest of a long extended series. Unless you go for a sweep, then I would be a tad bit worried again if Cade is not even 80%.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, Charlotte is actually on a path to a good basically a good direction. They're on a way to an amazing path. So basically, make that franchise relevant.
Oh yeah,
mostly for the first time in a while, and they're a good defensive team as well.
Especially like when you look at the numbers, you got to look at when they flipped to 2026. That's when they really started peaking, like since that new year.
Yeah. No. So are the Pistons playoff hopes in jeopardy? I'm not gonna say that until we see the situation with Cade Cunningham before the season ends. Right now, JB Bickerstaff and the time that they have, what they've shown in the past games, winning without him. I mean, that says a lot. One thing is try to go through a playoff series without him.
Yeah.
If that's a scenario. Then I'll talk to you guys in 3 weeks.
Fair enough.
All right, I think we got. Oh, Nick, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just saying fair enough to what he was saying. Like you'll let us know in 3 weeks. Fair enough.
All right, guys, before we go to our next topic, I got a big information to give to our audience, our public, and it is Metropol Restaurant, our first sponsor for Section 305, the sports show. We're in episode number 305, and so Metropol Restaurant has officially opened its doors in Miami. If you're craving delicious Puerto Rican or Cuban food, you have to visit immediately. The Metropol Restaurant, located at the Dolphin Mall, they offer the best fried pork, ribs, stuffed chicken, con green rice, croquettes, and much more. And what a better location and scenario to watch college March Madness and the beginning of the MLB. Also the playoffs. The playoffs for NBA and NHL are on their way. So we're living in the best season right now in North American sports, professional or collegiate, and you can watch it at the Metropol Restaurant.
Metropol.
Yes, sir. Our Metro.
Sorry, I was like half yawning that.
All right. So this is a scenario that production, and when we say production, Anthony included, I was not on board with this. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Like we gotta talk about our pain. We gotta talk about our
pain. Like we started off the show talking about a bad week for Florida teams. Let's start out with the Gators that had more expectation than the Canes. Miami actually surpassed expectations. Shout out to Jay Lucas. Good job in his first season. Best record as a first-time head coach for Miami. So they're going through a good direction, and that's going to influence, like Anthony said, players to do a transfer portal. Also, players best ranked in the nation to want to be recruited by that program, to want to join that program. Just like what we see with the Canes in football, sorry. But in this case, the Gators, they didn't have them as the favorites, but they, like me, I had them going to Final Four after that hot streak that they have in the second half and how they were looking, even though they lost in the conference tournament, the quarterfinals. And the way they dominated the first game, you're like, okay, here come the Gators. And so they fall short of a repeat after a 73-72 loss to the Iowa Hawkeyes in the second round. What went wrong for the Gators? And I got to also remind, Iowa is relevant because of Kalen Clark. The floor is yours. The floor is yours, Nick Dupont.
Oh, no. How about you take the floor for this one? Because I got a couple of questions. I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch the game for this one.
All right, so...
whatever on the Gators this season, my team was Duke. I did not watch this game. I'm not going to
lie. Oh, now you're a Duke fan.
Whoa, buddy. You know why I'm a Duke
fan,
and it's for the boozers. It's the only reason why. Okay? That's the
you're right. Yeah.
The Boozer brothers. The Boozers.
Tell them quick the stories before they start judging you.
Okay, well, basically, when I was a kid, I used to play with the Boozers growing up in their travel basketball team. I used to play in Carlos Boozer's backyard, Anthony Hardaway's backyard. We used to train there and stuff. Nice. It was a good time. So when I see these guys, especially Miami guys, that I knew grow up and start balling out and possibly future NBA picks, I'm going to support them. Like, yeah, I love the Canes. I'm happy with Jay Lucas. But, dude, I'm going for a Duke championship. I want to see Cam Boozer #1 overall in the draft. So that's where I'm at. But with this Gators team, you know what, Raul, fine, I'll take the first bit. I may have not watched this game.
I'm gonna do it as quick as possible.
Raul, I would just say, I don't know about Boozer, but I'm more so on the AJ for first overall. I'm just saying.
Oh, we know you like AJ.
The Bansa?
The Bansa.
The Bansa?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. I got him first overall.
I feel like the Arkansas player that has been the best that Coach Calipari has ever had in his career, even with all those Kentucky players that are in the NBA winning championships, being all-stars, scorers all time. Like, I feel like Coach Calipari having that guard that can possibly surprise everybody on being the number one pick. I don't know, guys. I feel that
before we get too
feel,
deep, Raul, go again. Go
I'm sorry.
elaborate on
I'm
the
sorry.
team.
It's just that he said that the Bonsa is gonna be the number one pick, but I feel like Darius Acuff Jr. could actually be the who just signed with Reebok. Allen Iverson supporting him, being the first collegiate player to sign in a professional big brand company. That's all I'm saying. But all right, what went wrong with the Gators so quick? All right, so they're the number one rebounding team in the league. They only had 27 rebounds. They couldn't rebound for, you know what? I'm not going to say the bad word. I'm not trying to. 51%. They couldn't also play defense. Like, literally, Iowa, a team that's not one of the best scoring, 51% shooting. Tavion Banks, credit to him, 20 rebounds, 7 out of 10 shooting. Bennett Sturts, rebounding, assisting. But he had 0 for 9 in the 3 points. 0 for 9 in the 3 points. And 5 for 16 shooting in general. The only guy that basically carried them in the 3-point line was Cooper Kupp. Yeah,
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah,
Cooper Kupp.
That's his last name. So guys, keep it.
I genuinely thought you were making a Cooper Kupp joke. I am not gonna lie.
No, keep it. And so just end, just to end this. Guys, this team had a lot of turnovers. And also, when you've got, I know, 19 minutes, when you got your best rebounder, double-digit player, Ruben Chinyelu.
Yeah.
10 points, 11 rebounds, 58% this season. 0 points, 1 rebound, 4 personal fouls in 19 minutes. That affected us because, I'm a Florida Gator in the paint completely. And then you had your veterans who were big factors who helped the Will Richards of this world, who was with the Warriors, the Walter Clayton Jr., who was the best player last year and the clutch player. Now in the NBA, he got traded from Utah to Memphis, basically helping them out. Alex Compton finished with 21 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. He did his thing.
Yeah, he's nasty. I know about that for the Gators.
Xavier Lee, in his first year, in his second round playing, 17 points. Not that bad. 7 for 11 shooting, 3 for 6. That was a wide open shot by a player that basically also was the most valuable coming off the bench with 14 points, 5 rebounds, perfect from the free throw line. The dude is named Alvaro Folguerias. He was a clutch player in the 3-point last second shot that he made, wide open. They literally were not, concentrated defensively through the whole game. And at the last moment, it was a wide open shot. What went wrong with the Gators? I got to blame their coach for not having their head straight after having a blowout win in the first round and basically having their guard down against Iowa. That's it. That's all. I can't say no more. That'd be the best.
Raul basically got everything covered. Raul, you basically got everything. I mean, when it comes, whether it was Ruben or the lack of execution down the stretch, and that wide open layup, that was right there. I don't know what Xavier Lee was thinking in terms of trying to pass that. There wasn't even.
That's another one that I didn't mention. Thank you, Anthony.
Go ahead.
Anthony. Thank you. That was the last factor that I forgot to mention. Thank you. A wide open layup, and you pass it when you had 2 players basically blocking that paint.
There was no room to even get that open.
There was no room in there.
That's the thing is there was no room to pass it to anybody in the paint. So it's weird of what was drawn up. Like if that was supposed to be a pass, and even then it was supposed to be a pass and it worked perfectly. There was little time on the clock to get a shot up with a pass. So
Yep.
that execution, like you mentioned, it's ridiculous, especially in that situation. I mean, I can't even add anything. Raul, you literally got everything straight on point. And
So here's my question though regarding
go
this.
ahead, Nick.
How difficult do you think it will be for the Gators to get back to the promised land? Like in what rate? What range do you think it would take for them? Like how many years?
That's
I think it'll actually be very difficult because okay, you're losing a lot of these players to the NBA draft, and so or either normal eligibility, whatever the case may be.
I mean, Thomas Huff, maybe Alex Condon, second rounders. I don't see them as first rounders.
Yeah, that's fair to say, but you're still a very valuable program. You're gonna attract a lot of basketball recruits regardless because you've been competitive for so many years. But I would be worried if the image changes just because it's hard to be competitive at any point in the NCAA. So my whole thing is just can they get the right pieces who can buy in? Because that's gonna be very important, and you're not gonna get another front court like Alex and like Tom. You're not getting there.
That's gonna be very difficult.
So unique.
That is so difficult. Yeah,
it's so difficult. So it's more so okay. What's the identity of the Gators moving forward? Because when you won a national championship, a lot of it was your backcourt, especially with Walter as a guy who could take over. This season, it was your defense, your rebounding, and your front court. What is the consistency moving forward? I think that will determine whether or not they can get back to the promise.
Also, Anthony, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned this. When we talked about the Gators, me putting them in the Final Four last episode.
Yeah,
you said, okay, Raul, but who's gonna be the Walter Clayton for that team? Who's gonna be the guy that executes for him when they need them the most? I'm not talking. And you said I'm not talking about Raul like only clutch. I'm talking about like when they're down, who's gonna bring them back? And you literally were on point on that.
Because that was my concern specifically with Xavier Lee. Because yes, he's had a better he's had a better backhand to the season. But
wide open layup, and he passes it.
Besides that, he had a good game outside of that. But either way, he's not a guy who could take over in the big moments. He's not a guy you're gonna be like, okay, give me the ball, I got us, I'm gonna carry it on my back. So
we thought at that moment that he was gonna be it.
If he did, then my take would be so wrong.
Our take would be completely different. I agree. Our take would be completely different. But he just demonstrated he demonstrated the opposite.
He did.
But he's gonna come back for next year, so maybe he can like reinvent himself and learn from those type of let's not say completely mistake from that like rookie type of. I'm not gonna want to say the word gibberish.
It's just more so a bad read. That was a bad read. That was too close.
And also just to end this segment, Nick, you just asked that question and you got me even more nervous. You know why?
Why?
What do we talked about production before we started off the show? Hubert Davis is fired. Todd Golden. They're hoping to give him a big contract extension. So if they offer Todd Golden the North Carolina Tar Heels coach, who's going to be successor? And if it's not an assistant, which coach will we hire to replace him after winning a natty a year before, after we were going through a good direction? Todd Golden right now, if you offer him an NBA gig, like Billy Donovan, or if you literally offer him a Tar Heel, who would say no to that? I know there's a lot of pressure and expectation, but being a Tar Heel, that would be good money and also a good reputation, knowing that I just won a national championship with the Gators, and now I'm about to be North Carolina Tar Heels, where the Vince Carters, the Kenneth Smiths, the Michael Jordans of this world have been there, the Roy Williams as a coach. Nick, Anthony, who would not accept that head coaching job in one of the best programs in basketball history?
Blue Bloods.
Yep.
So that question was like, damn, Nick, you're making this worse for me.
I mean, yeah, but you kind of have to ask that, especially with winning a national championship the year before and then to getting bounced like this. Like, you kind of have to ask that about this team. Like, I agree with Anthony. I felt like this season they did have a lot of identity, but just I felt like in big moments they kind of lacked.
They had a rough start at the end of the day also.
Yeah.
So
also, I would just say to end this off, not to cut you off, Raul, but
yeah.
The Gators won majority of their games by double digits. And granted that's great dominance, but it doesn't build exactly winning habits in March Madness.
Exactly.
Facts. I mean, we saw Gonzaga being an undefeated team this decade. We're calling Kispert, Jalen Suggs, and Drew, and all of them other players, and they lost against Baylor, where our point guard plays at Miami. Davion Mitchell.
Oh, there you go.
That was the team that they lost to, being
Shout out Davion.
Perfect. Shout out to Davion. All right, guys, let's go to our last topic, which from professional collegiate level in basketball, now we're doing transition.
Raul, I got one quick message before we get to that final topic.
It better be big.
Oh, it's mega.
Give me to it.
Okay. Oh my gosh! So obviously, we all
let
work.
Don't let us down.
Hey man, we all work very late hours. We all work extremely hard outside this show. At this hour, hunger is striking at its peak, boys. At its
peak. Wait a minute.
Luckily, Metropol Restaurant has opened in the 305 in Miami, right in Dolphin Mall, where you can enjoy the best Puerto Rican and Cuban dishes. That's right, people. The best in Miami. So make sure to stop at Metropol Restaurant at Dolphin Mall. You will not regret it. And again, like Raul mentioned earlier, best time of the season, MLB starting, NBA playoffs. We still got March Madness. Hey, man, this is the time of the year to go. This is the time of the year.
Literally, man, it's going to be a more busy schedule for us trying to do this podcast.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. It's going to be fun. Sleepless nights, but we're young. We got this.
We grind this out, man. We
got this, but we're never gonna turn the ball over. All right, guys, let's go to the NFL. Let's go to the NFL right now, because wow, well deserved. Also, another sensitive headline, since the guy that represents this team blew me out in the Super Bowl. It was mostly the defense than the offense, but this guy balled through the whole year, and at a short term of his career, he had his best season. And we're going to talk about how well-deserved this contract he just received. And the guy is Super Bowl champion Jaxon Smith-Njigba. He just resigned with the Seattle Seahawks to a 4-year, $168.6 million contract extension, making him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. All right, so you already gave your take. That's not going to be the question. That's not the answer to the question. Anthony, do you agree? Do you agree with Nick?
What do you say?
Money
that was worth every penny. That was worth every penny, that signing.
3 years. He's been 3 years in the league only, Anthony. And this was his best season. And that's how quick and over Justin Jefferson, over Tyreek Hill, and other wide receivers that at short term have actually had Devontae Adams at short term have actually had better numbers than him, and then received that type of contract extension. Do you think that he deserves every penny, like Nick says, in a 3-year span?
I would say yes, because I think when you finally break out and you finally understand how it is to play in this league and capitalize on every opportunity, and not just that, but actually have a quarterback that can get you the ball, I think it's only up from here for him. So yeah, I agree.
Sorry to cut you off.
Justin Jefferson had the highest paid contract as a wide receiver,
So that's the
and
thing.
he has had to have multiple quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Jaxon Smith-Njigba also. Nick, continue. Sorry.
No, you're okay. But here's the thing with that take when it comes to like every year we're seeing a new contract for the most expensive, like for some position. Like this year we saw it for wide receivers. Last year we saw it for defensive linemen with Myles Garrett. Then we saw it with quarterbacks multiple times in 1 year with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
O-linemen, Tyler.
Every year is just some excuse just to like break the record for the max. I feel like I feel like this is a worthy investment for this team because one, he was the best receiver in the NFL by far, who was being thrown by Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, out of all people, was throwing him the ball. We had 14 interceptions this year.
Whoa!
Listen, I may be dissing Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. He performed in the biggest moments when possible. But listen, man, Sam Darnold isn't exactly like the creme of the crop of quarterbacks, especially in this league. We know who they are, and we can safely name like 5 quarterbacks, each of us, that are better than Sam Darnold. So let's not sit here and act like he's the X factor. He's the main guy. No, man. Jaxon Smith-Njigba a huge part.
He proved last year with the Vikings.
Well, he did, but again, the turnovers came out, and in the playoffs, he disappeared, just like the rest of the Vikings team. This year they had the exact same questions for him: was if the Seattle Seahawks are going to win, Sam Darnold's going to have to step up, and that's the reason why they're going to win, and that's why they won.
Didn't he reinvent himself?
He did reinvent himself. I will give him that, but for the most part, if you look at the stats, they're almost identical as the stats in Minnesota. Maybe a little bit more yards, same interceptions, same touchdowns. I'm not discrediting Sam Darnold. He's a good quarterback right now. I'm just saying that. You got this guy, though, who's the number 1 receiver in the league by a clear mile. I mean, him, JSN, Jamar Chase, like those are the top 3 right now in my eyes. Like you can't compete with that. Sorry, I meant Jay Jetta, it's not JSN. It's hard to compete with that, So I feel like this is worthy money, especially since you won a Super Bowl with this guy. You just lost your biggest weapon, one of your biggest weapons, in Kenneth Walker, who was very disgruntled with the offense, literally asking for a new contract during the parade. Why not, man? Give this guy his money. He took you to the promised land after all that time. Like, yeah, in the playoffs not in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, he was a little lost, but he made big plays when they needed to be made.
Wait, let me ask you, Nick, real quick. So are you more so directly saying that Sam Darnold's success with Seattle is because of JSN?
I'm not saying it's direct because then you can make because listen, man, as a Dolphins fan, I've been dealing with that question for a while now, especially with
that's what I was gonna get to that
because you could ride with this guy, for example, where you can say Tyreek Hill carried Tua for his first for his years when he was in Miami because he had 2,000 yard seasons or 1,800 yard seasons. Okay, yeah, true. And you can look at it like that. Tua was also throwing around 14 interceptions that main season, that big season that he had. So even with the turnovers, he was still able to make big plays when they needed to be made. Like that was a year where, if I'm not mistaken, they played Baltimore. There was a year that they played Baltimore and they were down by like 4 touchdowns or something. And Tua came back to end up winning the game. Tua had big moments, but a lot of that job that was done was from Tyreek Hill, and I felt like a lot of it goes to the same as JSN. God, I'm turning into a Tua hater by the second. It sucks to say. It really sucks to say. But I'm naming facts. I'm stating facts though, because at the end of the day, yeah, Tyreek had a very huge part in his production. Like I think half of his production was Tyreek Hill. But the funny part is, whenever Tyreek was off the field, Tua would play better. So it made no sense, like in any regard. And you didn't really see that with Sam Darnold. I feel like with Sam Darnold was more of like, okay, JSN's always on the field because he's always healthy. But when JSN's not there, what would happen? It's like Sam Darnold, would he be able to step up and make those big throws or make those big plays? Because we had similar questions about that when he was in Minnesota, where, okay, when Justin Jefferson's on the field, will he step up? Will he make big plays? And in some games he did, but other games he looked like just regular old Sam Darnold, where he just throw like 2 interceptions and be like, what is going on?
All right, so I agree with both of you because I bet Anthony also well-deserved. In a 3-year span, the guy has 20 touchdowns, and he's a 2-time Pro Bowler the past few years. NFL receiving yards leader this season, first-team All-Pro, Offensive Player of the Year. But, Nick, now I got to ask you a question. So he's throwing himself the ball?
No, Sam Darnold's throwing him the ball. We just discussed.
Okay,
this.
so what are we talking? I mean, you just criticized Sam Darnold.
You're gonna get me excited. You're gonna get me excited because I know how to answer this question.
Wait.
All
right,
this is
so-
gonna cook. This is gonna cook.
All right. So, he had this season, just to give you the numbers right, 10 touchdowns, 1,793 yards, 119 receptions out of 163 targets, which is a good percentage, is an amazing percentage. 15 yards per game and 15 yards averaging per play.
You're cooking.
105.5 yards per game, all career highs, and the quarterback to do that was Sam Darnold. Just like he made his surroundings with the Vikings look good. He went to bed in the playoffs, but then he reinvented himself this season. And now, before I give it to you back, 1,793 yards. That's what he had. Out of the 4,048 yards that Sam Darnold threw this season. Mostly it was on him. I got it. And a 67%. That's a good completion percent. That is a good number. So the 14 interceptions, I get it. They are bad for a quarterback that has shown that he can be elite. And now this season, he not completely carried because it was mostly on that defense. The defense was ranked. The defense was ranked 6th in efficiency, 10 in yard passing allowed, 3 in yard rushing allowed, number 1 in points allowed. They demonstrated it against the Pistons. I was gonna say, the Patriots. But then offensively, 9 in efficiency, 9 in yard passing, 10 in yard rushing. Kenneth Walker, we'll give it to him, and Zach Carbonet. I'm sorry, guys. And then 3 in point scoring. They were the most completed team. So what I'm trying to say with this is that well deserved, but at the same time, we're gonna give the whole full number 1 credit to him for the Super Bowl when he was not even the MVP. It was Kenneth Walker, and that defense destroyed the Patriots.
Well, again, Raul, we talked about this during the game, and even before the game came on. Christian Gonzalez was going to be guarding JSN off the line of scrimmage. You have 2 top-tier players against each other.
And he did a good job.
And both of them, I think both of them did an excellent job. Both Christian and JSN. I thought both of them had a really good game. Again, it was just Sam Darnold being able to not make mistakes. But then I go back to 2022 or 2023. Was Tua's success based off of Tyreek, or was Tua making Tyreek look good? Because this is kind of this is the thing with this topic. This is the thing with this topic, Raul. You know what I mean?
Tyreek Hill is a cheetah. Tyreek Hill is a cheetah. He may look Patrick. He may look Patrick Mahomes look good, and then he started making Tyreek.
Let's not forget, he had his best seasons with the Dolphins. Statistically, he had his best seasons with the Dolphins.
All right, so if Tua wets the bed with the pieces he has around, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and B.J. Robinson, we'll get to this conversation again.
Because you see where I'm coming from, right? You see where I'm coming from.
You're right. I do see where you're coming from. So Sam Darnold did a good job with the Vikings.
I've lived through this.
Sam Darnold reinvented himself with the Vikings, went to bed in the playoffs. Then he had another opportunity with a different system, with the Seahawks, with a new coach and new offensive players around him, with a good defense, better than the Vikings. And he demonstrated that he can carry a team, not fully, but to the Super Bowl and win a chip. So if Tua can turn it around while Kirk Cousins couldn't do, and Michael Penix Jr. hasn't done, if he can turn it around, we'll have this conversation. I'll be, Nick, I'm going to shut my mouth for literally 20 minutes at the beginning of next episode. Well, not next episode, when we talk about
when we get to the season.
When we get to the season, and the floor, and I'm gonna give you a percentage of what we're earning.
Oh, say less. Okay, say less.
Anthony, you're good. I'm gonna give him 50% for that episode. For that episode, if Tua turns it around, you don't have to give me nothing. It's not a bet. I'm just gonna.
You can make it a bet if you want.
We're not gonna make it a bet. I'll give you 50% of what we're making monthly through Section 305 of the Sports Show. If
Tua turns it around,
if not, I don't want to hear a peep out of you of what we just talked in episode 35. Kevin Durant number, episode 35. I don't want to hear a peep of what you tried to insinuate on this topic.
Okay, you'll see me wear a Tua Falcons jersey. No, don't worry.
Just to wrap the show, does the Seahawks have enough to go back to back? No. The NFC is going to be loaded with the North, with the Packers, with the Vikings that they could probably turn around with.
Don't forget the Bears.
With Kyler Murray. We got the Bears. like the North. I mean, Nick, the North with the Bears, the Vikings, the Lions.
That's a great division.
That's a division that has 14.
I expect bigger things from the Lions next season.
All right, so Nick, you know that in the North side, all 4 teams ended up above 500. 2 of them, named the Lions and the Vikings, didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
That's how competitive the NFC is gonna be, and those 2 teams are actually supposed to have a better season. Let's go to the East. The Eagles, even though they've lost a couple of key players, there's still expectations to go to the playoffs. And the Giants, I'm riding with Anthony. They should make a lot of noise. America's team, I'm not going to mention them, but we got to.
Come on.
Since America's team, we got to mention them since they're because
That's what
of
we
Jerry.
call them. We don't even call them by their actual names.
Because
don't call them America's. Don't call them America's team. Call them every year's our year.
Every year is our year team, but the reason why I'm mentioning them is because of Jerry Jones, because they are a controversial team, literally 365 days a year. 24/7. Washington is going to make a big comeback. And now let's go to the South side. I mean, you got expectation with the Falcons. Okay, all right. But I'm having the Buccaneers only. And the Panthers. Let's not forget about the Panthers. And then
I think the Panthers are better than the Bucs.
And then the West side, we got the champion Seahawks. We got the LA Rams that possibly could be the favorites. We got the San Francisco 49ers that just signed
They're gonna be good.
Mike Evans. Mike Evans. And with George Kittle and them boys, and that defense is still gonna be relevant.
Glorious.
Look at all those teams in the NFC, especially in the same division that the Seahawks are. I'm sorry, Anthony, your production, they're not going back.
This is great for me. I'm loving this. Go ahead.
They're not going back to back. I'm sorry. They're not. Nick, you just said they're not going back to back. Anthony, are you going to agree or disagree?
No, I agree, but I also want to add this because we talked about just Jerry Jones. Because they signed JSN to this contract now, they don't have to pay him any more than what he could actually get in the near future. Because think about how Jerry handles business. He signs players at the very last minute, and they're very expensive, and they can't really do and they got no flexibility.
No cap space. I agree with that.
So I want to give props to the Seahawks on that part, just handling business early.
The only thing I'm gonna say before this question, I feel 3-year, $140 million would have been perfect. Overpaid for a 3-year career span.
Also,
compared to other wide receivers that in 3 years have done. Jamar Chase, they were having issues for giving him a max contract. Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, you see all those type of wide receivers that they were hesitating to give them big contracts. All of a sudden, in a 3-year span, and not winning MVP of the Super Bowl, having his best career in offensive play of the year. I get it, but in a 3-year span, you're giving him the biggest contract. And now, Anthony, I know you just said that they don't have to waste no more money in the surroundings because Cooper Kupp is under contract. They actually replaced Kent Walker with Emmanuel Wilson. I'm sorry for disrespecting that running back, but that's and now rumor has it Najee Harris is supposed to be with the Seahawks. I think that's like the
if he can stay healthy.
If he can stay healthy, but he's still not getting a big contract. So I feel like they overpaid him. That's
also,
my take.
I think this draft will be very critical. Like they're gonna get a running back for sure for more depth on that position.
This is gonna be interesting.
This is a very important draft for them to stay competitive if they're gonna lose the
and for our audience, one of the best scouts in Florida is named Nick Dupont. He's gonna give you guys a lot of analysis, stats, facts, and where every single player supposed to be landed. And who's
the best blocking tight end in the draft?
Oh my God, this is not gonna let it go.
I will not let it go.
It's not gonna let it go. And where are their best landing spots? So that's gonna be in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be one of our best episodes. And remember, Section 305 Sports Show started with the NFL Draft 2025. So, and that's how we're going to do our 1-year anniversary. Guys, if you guys got one more take, let the crowd know.
I mean, I don't have anything else for the day. Anthony, I'm pretty depressed today. I'm not going to lie.
All I gotta say is
the
Hornets are up. That's all I gotta say. Hornets are up, my people.
Quickly, since we got like a 1 minute before wrapping, Sweet 16 that's happening in a few minutes right now, on a few hours. Sorry, Purdue, Texas. Who you got? Quickly,
Texas.
Let me get Purdue.
Obviously, you're not doing Purdue. Obviously, you're not doing Purdue.
No, but here's the thing. Because the U show that you can disrupt Smith very critically.
Texas is a dangerous team.
They show they can do it. If Texas can do that same thing, because we're in a copycat league, then you got a chance. You have a chance.
You know what? I'm going with Texas as well.
My God.
Iowa, Nebraska. I'm going with Nebraska, obviously.
I got Nebraska too.
Remember, they're the team that eliminated the Gators, Nick. We're still Florida.
Yes, I know.
Kansas and Arizona, I know they have the best player in the nation, but Arizona is just a complete team.
Yeah.
Darius Acuff Jr., he's going to be a first rounder, probably the first pick. Best player the John Calipari's ever had, but Arizona takes it.
Arizona.
Nick. Last but not least, Illinois and Houston.
Give me Houston.
All right. Tomorrow, Friday. Last 4 games before the Elite 8. Duke, St. John's. I'm going with St. John's.
Duke.
Of course, you guys will pick Duke.
I gotta go with Duke.
Alabama, Michigan.
Honestly, give me Alabama.
Give me nothing but the damn Tide. That's who I'm taking.
Roll Tide. Okay.
Roll Tide.
All right, y'all picking me. All right, y'all picking Alabama. I'm picking Michigan.
I'm picking Alabama, Pat McAfee style.
All right, Tom Izzo against Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley, UConn, Michigan State. Tom Izzo.
You know what?
I put Michigan State to go all the way to the Natty. So
give me Michigan State. Give me Michigan.
My man. Last but not least, Tennessee, Iowa State.
Iowa.
You know, there's a saying that goes around.
A lot of people put them in the Final Four.
There's a saying that goes around where you got to ride with these Vols, man. I'm not gonna lie. When I went to Tennessee last summer, they told me to ride with the Vol, and I ride with the Vol, and it felt good. Give me the Vols, baby.
It's not that bad. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up another episode of Section 305, the Sports Show. I'm Raul Pagan with my colleagues, Anthony Aguirre and Nick Dupont. Guys, I'll see you next week. Let's see what happens this weekend with March Madness. Also, we're going to be talking about MLB opening. We already saw what happened yesterday between the Yankees and the Giants. We'll also be talking about the Cade Cunningham situation, depending if we have any status on his return, and a couple of other things surrounding sports in America. Have a good night. See you next week.
Don't turn the ball over.